Great, wonderful. Yay. So my name is Marlo, and I am the Global University Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. And today is our final Q&A call for the Ministry Training Program 2027 class. So we're going to have a great morning filled with information for all of you and also opportunity for a Q&A for you to ask any questions you might have about the program. And before we get started with the prayer and also more info, we just want to go around the circle and briefly introduce ourselves. We're just going to say our names and where we're currently living. So again, my name's Marlo, and I'm the Global University Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. I'm down in Riverside, California, Southern California, which is the original lands of the Luiseño tribe. So let's see, I'm going to go around the circle here, and why don't we start with Darlene?
Hi, everyone. My name is Darlene Hunter, and I am the Spiritual Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. I am in Northern California on Pine Mountain in the hills of Mendocino County, living on lands that have been prayed over for so long and continue to be of the coastal Miwok and the Pomo peoples. Nice to see you all today.
Thanks, Darlene. Okay, Margine.
Hello everyone, my name is Margine Brou. I am the communication coordinator for CSS, and I'm living in Manchester, in North California, the original land of all 7 tribes who were there in Manchester Mountain. So welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, Margine. Okay, Lyla.
Good morning. My name is Lyla Marquez. I am the Registrar for the Ministry Training Program, and I'm coming to you from Southern California and the land of the Tongva people.
Thanks, Lyla. All right, let's see, Christina. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Aloha, I'm Christina Rodriguez here on Maui, the land of the Kanaka Maoli people. Grateful to be here.
Oh, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Right.
All right. Make sure I'm saying your name correctly. Nalini? Nalini? Would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, you're on mute. I know sometimes it's tricky to,
Hello.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nalini. I'm a singer and ceremonialist, and I have just finished a little tour. I was in California for 3 months, bringing music from Mount Shasta down to Santa Barbara, and then a few months in Baja California and Tepoztlan, Mexico. And I just arrived back into the UK. I live in Glastonbury, but I'm currently in London visiting my mum. So I'm under a tree in beautiful Primrose Hill.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see, Molly.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Great. My name is Molly. I live in Potter Valley, California, also Northern California. And I think this is the ancestral land of the Pomo people here. And I'm really happy to be here today.
Thanks, Molly. Good to meet you.
To meet you too.
Yeah. All right. Is it Esteban? Esteban? Would you like to introduce
Yes,
yourself?
hello, good morning. My name is Esteban,
Oh,
and I am currently in the Sierra Nevada foothills of California, Nevada City, Nisenan territory.
Great, wonderful. Thanks for coming. All right, Ingrid. Hello again, Ingrid.
Hi, I'm Ingrid, as you said. I live in Portugal and I'm a herbalist and a classical homeopath, and I'm already signed in for the training. So I'm excited. Looking
Yay.
forward to start. Yeah.
Thanks, Ingrid. All right, Michelle.
Good morning. Apologies for a little delay. I had difficulty finding the email, but I'm here. And yes, Michelle, living in LaGrange, California at the moment. And hello, sweet Darlene. I was just looking through my emails and saw that Kayumari is 30 years old. OMG. Yeah, so I go back about 30 years with the Kayumari community and went through Stargate. And yeah, spoke to my girlfriend Wendy a couple months ago and contemplating and knowing this program was available for possibly my next step. So I just thought I'd pop on and check in and see my dear sister Darlene and see if it's the next step for me and my growth and my journey. So I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Good to see you. Well,
Yep.
Sarah Glass, I get to see your face in person. You want to introduce yourself to the group?
Hello. So nice being here with everyone this morning. Um, so yes, my name is Sarah. I am zooming in from the green, lush Upper Skagit Valley in Washington. The homelands for the Upper Skagit tribes, the coastal Salish people, which included many, many different tribes. And I am, let's see, wearing a few different hats right now. I am a massage therapist. I love Qigong and I have a practice with Qigong. And right now I am managing a retreat lodge on a beautiful piece of land up here in near Cedar-Woolley. So it's great to be here with all of you this morning. Thank you.
Awesome. Yay. Thank you, Sarah. So glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see. Is it Anisha? Anisha?
Hi, it's
Hi.
Anisha.
Anisha.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm calling in from RV living up in the Northern California Redwoods, guest of the Yurok people and my family as I'm repatriating after 9 years in Mexico, where I founded a retreat center there. And yeah, it's an interesting time to come back to the US.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Good. I know we had some more people pop on, and so what we're doing is we're just going around the circle and are introducing ourselves before we begin. And my name is Marlo, and I'm the Global University Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. And I'm here in Riverside, Southern California, land of the Luiseño tribes. So let me just continue here with Gail. And this call is being recorded for those who just hopped on. Gail.
Hi, I'm Gail Garland. I live in Maryland and near Baltimore. I'm an ordained, it's Piscataway is the land. And I'm an ordained interfaith minister from One Spirit Learning Alliance. And, I'm happy to be here to hear what Global University is offering.
Thank you, Gail. Good. Okay, Richard.
Hello, everyone. My name is Richard Nash. I'm really grateful to be calling in from so-called Berkeley, California. or Huichin, the ancestral homeland of many different bands of Chochenyo-speaking peoples. Um, and I am very lucky for a lot of reasons, but I've been going through a big transition and I'm just about to start acupuncture school and um, very, very grateful to be here and just to tap in and see what this is about. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Richard. Thanks for coming. Great. Okay, we got Brig. Brig Rose. Are you there? Oh, there you are.
Hey everyone, my name's Breege, and
Breege.
yeah, and I'm calling in from Wampanoag homeland, Massachusetts, and I just love everything that Center for Sacred Studies does, and yeah, so I just wanted to learn more about this program, and yeah, grateful to be here.
Thank you. Thanks, Breege. All right, let's see, Bernice.
Hi. I'm Bernice Pratt from Medicine Hat, Alberta. I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, along the Assiniboine River, and Assiniboine stands for the people who cook with stones. So I've been doing lots of work with stone elixirs and healing, and thank you for having me.
Wow, thanks for coming. Thank you. And I see a familiar name there, Martha. Martha, you want to introduce yourself? Hi, Martha.
Yeah, I'm Martha Jors. I'm in Amherst, Massachusetts, on the land of the Nonotuck. And I am in the current class that graduates next month. And if I could, I'd take it again. So that's how good it is. I just thought I'd let you know that. So thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Martha, for coming, and would love to hear more of us share from you towards the later part of our agenda. That'd be really great. Thank you. Deborah, welcome. Are you able to turn on your camera? Medeski. Nope. Or maybe we'll come back to Deborah. We'll come back to Deborah. How about Nicholas? Wow, look at that background.
Hello, everybody. Sorry to join a little bit late. Just got off a call and I just found out about this. I'm here from Port Moody, British Columbia, Canada. Used to be a medical doctor. I work as a soul doctor now, breath work, medicine work, everything else in between. Father, husband, and yeah, just I saw this from Michelle and looked like it was really good. We met in Fit for Service, Aubrey Marcus for a year container. So not unfamiliar with doing long containers, but I have no idea what I'm stepping into. So good to meet you all.
Great. Thank you so much for coming. All right, let's see, Christine. Did we do Christina? Have you introduced yourself? So many people popping on, so I want to make sure. Oh, wait, I think Christina, did you introduce yourself, Rodriguez?
I did already, yeah.
You did,
Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Okay, let's see. I think only Deborah is left, and maybe she is unavailable. Sometimes people drive and listen in. Any people, anyone who I did not get to, please just like raise your hand. I think everyone's covered. Great. Yay. Well, thank you so much for coming. I'm so excited to be with all of you today. And I'm going to turn it over to Darlene for our prayer.
Wow. Thank you, everybody. That's quite a point around our Mother Earth. These lights are winking already on. Some are blazing and some are gently with ease and grace flowing in this channel that we have all created. So I just want to take this moment in time and say thank you all for being here and Now that we've gotten to know each other just a little teeny bit, I want us to just sit down inside ourselves for a moment, just get comfortable and take a deep breath and just allow yourself to feel your breath and allow that air, that oxygen to flow all over inside, opening up those cells and bringing that oxygen to all parts of your body. And as you breathe again, feel that beautiful heartbeat of yours. Connect with your heart. And with this next breath, gather up all the things that we were doing right before this call, all the things that we had to step through to be here in this moment of time. And as you breathe out, just breathe all those things right down into Mother Earth and just let her hold them. And with your in-breath, breathe in this present moment. And now breathing in again all the things that we're all going to have to do after this call, everything that's on our list, and just breathe them all in. And once again, as you breathe out, give them to Mother Earth so we can sit inside this present moment. And breathing in again, connect with your heart. And we join in this circle and we joy in the gratitude in this prayer of life that we have been called to wake up this morning and put our skin on once again and step firmly on our path in life, even though sometimes it is in the unknown. And it is through the unknown that our prayer gets strong and large beyond who we think we are, allowing our authentic being to shine fully in this place, in this present moment. And in this moment, we give great thanks for you, Mother Earth. And we give great thanks and prayers for the lands that we stand on, the lands that we live on, all the lands that have been brought forth already that are here present, giving thanks here in Northern California, in the land of the Pomo and the coastal Miwok peoples. And it is in this moment when we give gratitude for the air that we breathe that connects us all, for the water that flows above us and below us, around us, inside us, and birthed us. As we greet the sun and the fire, reminding us of the passion and the purification that lives inside each and every one of us and the lessons that it brings. And for you, Mother Earth, as I'm hearing the birds sing and in the tall standing ones, the trees here on Pine Mountain, all the beings that live above ground and below ground, all that swim, all that fly, all that creepy crawlies, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds. And I give thanks for Mother Earth's relations, for the great cosmos, for all of the beings that are helping us at this time, all of our spirit beings that are here, that are helping us walk through this doorway of this new dawn that we are remembering, that we are a part of. As the end, they told us 13 years ago, the Kagaba Nation, the big brothers, those that listen closely to Mother Earth and what she's referring to us in order to walk gently, to pay attention to the laws of nature, to pay attention and give our focus to what is breaking through as we break out of those things that have colonized our minds, our hearts, our way of thinking, that we step out of what we know has not been working for so long and we step back into remembering who we are. I give thanks for this moment in time, for this day, 68 years ago, that my ancestors, my parents and their parents before that, all the way back to that first grandmother that dreamed us into existence, breathed me and prayed me into existence, along with all my relations that are sitting on this call, all my relations that are over 30 years old in this beautiful community. I give great thanks for the new ones being born this day, that we share a birthday, and all the many new ones that have been coming through, for they have less karma, I'm told, so that we can pave that way for their possibilities, for our heart's wish, for our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren and our next 7 generations, and the healing of our spirits. Thank you for all the weavings of all those that are here today that decided to listen to their hearts calling and step into this place, for each and every one has a gift, many gifts that they have been given in order to share that responsibility of being in relationship with reciprocity and respect. And for these beautiful spiritual practices, I give great thanks. So thank you for this moment in time where we get to explore what you're offering through the Center for Sacred Studies, O Holy Mother, what you gave us, this formula that you put in place, this alchemical process, this pilgrimage that we're walking together. And it calls us forth. So here we are, sitting in our curiosity and open hearts, that we can share together about what you'd like. This state of consciousness and the lights that are lit up all around and activated all around you, Mother Earth, at this time. And for that, I give great thanks. I give great thanks. I give great thanks and blessings to each and every one here, all of our friends, our families, our relations, our communities. Touch them with the blessings that you are. And so it is. Aho.
Beautiful. Thank you, Darlene. Ah, beautiful prayer. Did you want to go into some of the history? Beautiful. After a few breaths, for
Thank you.
sure.
Everyone, can I interrupt? It's Debbie. I'm here.
Oh, hi, Debbie. Yay.
Hi.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry I had an issue with my Zoom, and I am driving, so I'm going to turn off my video, but I just wanted to introduce myself to everybody. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, good.
I'm Debbie Medeski, and I live in upstate New York in the Hudson Valley, the home of the Lenape people. And yeah, I'm really just happy to be here. Hoping that I've been wanting to do this program with you all for so long, and I know for so long, and I'm hoping this is the time. So I'm sorry that I'll be driving, but I just wanted to listen in and say hello and thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. Good to see you.
You too.
Be safe out there.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Awesome.
Whew. Oh, how fun this is. Thank you for all joining me with my I'm being very single-mindedly focused. The feeling that I have is delight that we're all together on this call. It's like, oh, look who I called. Look, all these new faces and these familiar faces, and the old ones that I've met before, and in this lifetime and many more. Again, I'll introduce myself. My name is Darlene Hunter. Excuse me. Over 30 years ago, I met some amazing people who are our spiritual, I call them our spiritual elders and leaders, Joe Tima and Russell Park, and in the meeting of them and others, the place inside me, they say our suffering pushes us until our passion pulls us, and it was in that moment that that my walk, my dreams, the visions, what had been walking with me before many lifetimes, what's walking with all of us many lifetimes, is that then my Dharma stepped in, where I'm walking on the path of what it is that my authentic being is needing in these times and places. And so here we are. Oh, and speaking, Jyoti, hi, welcome. I just was starting. This is Jyoti Ma. I just was starting with a great thanks for over 30 years ago, meeting you and Russell and many other people, and that spark of my Dharma that opened up that doorway through this amazing process. And here we are 30 years later, after finding our way up an amazing mountain, a crystal mountain, and meeting people like Michelle Gratwick, who was on here in one of these circles. There you are. And many others that are on this call. And what amazing life it has been. And so
excuse me for being late. I came off a call with the Mother Earth delegation and some planning about going to the Vatican. So that'll be coming up in October. Lots is moving in these remarkable times. So that's why you heard a calling. So now I'll be quiet and listen.
Well, sister, this is a beautiful moment. Would you like to share how we all came up that mountain? Because that was coming next, and you can flow right through.
I can flow right through.
If you like, because I don't know if you need to flow off, but I wanted to.
No, I'm good. They say a story stalks you until you're strong enough for your soul to hold its own numinosity, and then it pounces on you and swallows you. And that's what happened to us. My husband Russell and I have been traveling in Europe and teaching about spiritual emergence and emergency and training up doctors and other clinicians to see this as something that was not a psychosis, but rather a moment that was going to open people into their higher self, into that higher level of understanding and presence. And through that, we caught what's called Maya tree breathwork, and I had been passed a lodge. And so we started having circles and meetings, and out of that, the community started to form. A spark happened. I'm not quite sure when or how, it just did. And it ended up with people coming to Russell and I and saying, we really want to open a spiritual intentional community, and will you help us? And I didn't think we were old enough, gray enough, or wise enough to do such a thing. So I went to 3 different spiritual teachers that were I called them my no-nonsense teachers, the one that are going to just say it straight, and sometimes hard, but say it straight. And their feedback was always valid. So I went to them with one criteria. One of them would say, no, you're not ready. And then that would be that. But it didn't happen. They all said, it's time. You need to put it in motion. So we started circles getting together with those that were starting to gather around this community idea. And we started visioning together and listening together. And we started looking for a place, some land where we could hold this intentional community so it could have a base, a land base, sacred land that would call us and form us. And that led us through several years of looking. So then we got a message, someone that Russell had taught, lived in Sonora at the base of the mountain where we went. And she kept seeing this advertisement for a retreat center that was for sale. And she kept seeing Russ and I's faces. So we ended up calling all those that would become our original investors and letting them know there was some land up there. And so they all said, yes, let's go. And so it happened quite spontaneously. And we went up there, and everyone said yes, and said, Jyoti, you and Russell stay, and whatever you receive through the night, we will walk that way. So we did. We went into meditation with the land itself to see, and the mother and the great ones, the ones without form, to really see is this the place that you were wanting us to be, and it was a big yes. So Russ and I were, newly finished with a PhD. But so Russ was paying off some of his loans and things like that. We weren't rich people, but we were able to put in for money down that someone had just given us not too long before this. And we were able to start taking the steps to bring the land back to itself, is the way we'd like to say. We came to Guardian, this sacred, holy mountain. We called it Crystal Mountain, and there's a whole bunch more stories I could tell you, but we don't have time for that today, but maybe later. But in any case, we ended up landing there on the Crystal Mountain, this beautiful 160-acre ranch. It had a few dwellings on it, but we called it our basic starter kit. We didn't know what else to do. How do you build a spiritual community? We were like innocents and very naive, but we just showed up in the present moment. And then practically, okay, now you need to take this to an attorney that will help you know how to do this for a community of people coming in as investors. And then if they complete something and need to flow out, how does that happen with good regard and respect for one another and all the contributions made? How do we bring others in? And so there were a lot of people that gave us a check to come so part of this land could happen. By 6 months, once we started it, we had raised about $750,000 through all these different efforts. It really came with ease and grace. And that included our loan for the land and getting it secured, and being able to start building and adding structures and places where we could hold our teachings and our ceremonial work. And we were up there for a while. We didn't realize this story that was swallowing us, but up our 14-mile logger road came the elders that would start to train us in lines of prayer that go back to the original times. And through that training, we would begin to remember a way of life where all life was sacred, and come back to the original principles of heart and unity and reciprocity and collaboration and tolerance and compassion, and all life is sacred. And they saw something in us, and they wanted to pass something on to us that held that very old line back to the original time. And we still hold that. We still hold that in regard. We still walk with that as part of our purpose, is to keep safe these original languages and cultures that are with our original people, for they have really a solution of the time we're sitting in right now. And they're busy, busy, busy. We're all on our ponies riding hard. I've started my 78th walk around the sun. So I'm getting a little bit older, but she's got us all busy right now, because we've followed and been in service to the Eagle Condor prophecy line since the beginning times, before we even realized we had been swallowed into that part of the story. And that prophecy has prepared us, and now it's instructing us, as I like to say, we're women driven and indigenous led, because it is our elders that are giving us the instruction, and we're walking that out. So I think that's a quick brushstroke to say, how did we get to the mountain, in answer to your question, Darlene, and kind of where we're at right now. For me, Kayamari, the community, is like the basket and the main ground for our village to sit on. And then the Center for Sacred Studies came, and then she came and she said, I'm calling those that are ready to be ordained into a walking prayer. And 2 years into the program, I had received a message, and she said, there are those that are coming will hold points of light in my earth web, so that when you can no longer travel, those waves of consciousness can still be caught by those points of light and things can continue moving. And I didn't know what any of that meant in that message. And then the pandemic came and nobody could travel. So those are the kind of loud moments that we look for validation that we're listening correctly and following something with our goodwill and heart and action. So just want to, then the fountain for natural order of our existence became another village, another building in our village. And you can go to the website, thefountain.earth, and you'll see some of the global initiatives that we have in motion with our original people, and the Mother Earth herself is guiding us right now in some very poignant spiritual work in the La Sierra of Colombia and the 4 original people. So I got lots of stories that jumped in my lap to come and share with you, but maybe that'll give you a little taste of what this path the Mother has designed brings. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sis. That was great. Well, it's very important for us as we step into these fields together. Is we're all about following process, as Jyoti described. You know, we talk about staying behind our medicine, and we stand behind we follow this beautiful Mother Earth, this beautiful mother, this divine feminine creation that has birthed all of us. And oh, see, I'm having an elder moment. I've already, as I'm in my 69th walk around the sun. And so it's important to know the lineages of where it is that we're sitting in what sacred circle that we're in. That's why we like to share a little bit about our history. And as Jyoti shared, there's a lot more stories that way. And when the Center for Sacred Studies was birthed out of our Kayamari village, the base of who we are, and when we got up that 14-mile logger road up into the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains north of Yosemite, crossing over the Stanislaus, one of the Stanislaus rivers. And we started to follow Mother in all of these processes that she's been speaking of. As we grew and the teachings that she gave us, that Jyoti also was speaking about Maitri, and an amazing 4 or 5 year mystery school that had helped us with tools on how to live in community, because we hadn't for so long. We were in these nuclear families. So we went up that hill naively and planted ourselves. And when we rooted ourselves on that mountain, that was 30 years ago this year. And so having longevity, not a throwaway society, that commitment brought us a lot of tools for us to be able to say, here we are, we're a 30-year-old community, we're global, we have our sister communities all around. One big one there is our Kayamari community in New York at the Waterfall House, where we met Deborah, and we have a beautiful community that's 26 years old this year in the Czech Republic, where we have land outside of Prague, and all of the levels of the training live and exist there. We have many ministers, 300 after this. Martha's ordained in a few weeks up there where Sarah is. And the points of light that have been activated that Jyoti just shared about, how the Mother gave us this formula of living. with the laws of nature, as well as then we became bigger and bigger as a village. And there's a part where it became clear that Mom wanted to offer these to other people. And so what was the format and the structure that we were needing? And it took us a lot of time to pray and discuss and sit in circles to become the Center for Sacred Studies, which happened in 2001, to see if we were able to hold the being a church with the shadow of everything that it stands for. So in 2001, based on the structure of being a religious organization on Native American church, we were able to become the Center for Sacred Studies in 2001. And the government knew a little bit about what we were up to because they said that we had gotten our IRS listing as the Center for Sacred Studies, but we never got the paperwork and we never found it. And finally got in there with the IRS to say what happened, where are we? And they had us listed as the Center for Scared Studies. They just didn't spell the word right? It's like, whoa, okay, here it is. Let's buckle up. And that's what's happening, with all of us. We're all buckling up in this moment. So we became a nonprofit religious organization, and that we became this in March after a lot of ceremony and prayer. And by September 11th, 2001 is when our country went into martial law, and the only things that were protected were religious organizations. And so we really trust the great alchemy, the alchemist that this Holy Mother is. It's quite amazing. And so this is part of the alchemy that we are weaving together. And so I don't know how long it took us, into about 2006, when the ministry, we needed some ministers for our religious organization, as we started walking around this great mother of ours, when she started sharing with us about dreams and visions of the grandmothers and the voices of the grandmothers and the wisdom of the grandmothers. And so in 2002, as we listened to our dreams and visions, we convened the International Council of 13 Indigenous Grandmothers, with grandmothers that we knew through relations and ceremony. And we walk with them these seeds of understanding. We plant these seeds. And so we walk with them for 10 years. And in the middle of all that, we were instructed that with this, as Jyoti said, about these ministers, this points of light that were activated when we could not travel. And so the ministry, I like to call it the ministry training pilgrimage, this program that we are sitting inside today, that you'll hear more about in just a few minutes, more detail, is that Jyoti and another sister, Wendy, who's also one of the first co-founders in our village, sat in a circle and prayed to listen to what it was that this beautiful mother, this divine being who called us all to sit up on this mountain and to walk forth in our authentic beings around the earth, weaving our gifts, what it was that she wanted. And she gave us this template, this formula, to weave in the alchemy of all that comes to itself in order to be her walking prayer. And so that happened in the very first one, started in 2007. The very first doorway opened, and for 2 years up on our Crystal Mountain. We ordained the very first student in 2009. And so it is, as she's brought people to herself to come and sit with the teachings that she gave us, and she flowed. And after 7 years, she decided that it was time to have the fields lie fallow, to take an in-breath. And so she has been flowing in her rhythm over the course of these years, and we offer it up, and she decides, bringing people to us, and we see if we're going to walk together again. So today she's brought all of you, and we have a number of people that have already signed up. This is our last time to meet this way before we ordain our next class in a few weeks and before the new one may start. So I give thanks for each and every one of you for coming here again, for those that are on the call and those that might be listening later, for old friends and new friends. And this community has I would never have dreamed of all the things that I would be sitting and learning and in this moment in time. And I just have such gratitude. You know, this is a little bit emotional today with the heart space that we all hold. So thank you for being here. I just want to say that much. Thank you, Jyoti, for jumping on the way that you did. You and Russ were my first birthday song this morning. So I thank you all for listening to both of us, and we have more to come. Thank you, Marlo. I want to hand it back over to you.
Can I just add one thing, Marlo, before you start? I just want to remind everybody from the beginning, you know, the mother is the greatest alchemist of all. And timing is the main element of alchemy. And so over the years, we've watched her timing, so impeccable, her timing, like Darlene was mentioning, the guidance to really get us into a religious order of some kind so we could protect these very ancient old ways of prayer line and medicine ways, earth ways. And then the action came that really would have threatened what we were doing as in the land and our services we were offering to our original people. But she had put us in just the right container. With that said, she brought the alchemy for the ministry program to be online, because when we were first thinking about it, it was like the transmissions were occurring when people were coming to be with us and learning through. I mean, she lights you up in your own, and you inform yourself, because really it's about you actualizing yourself and your full potential of presence. That's what this path is all about. And so there's an alchemy afoot within the training that moves you through no matter what level of experience or of academia, of life, wherever you are in that process. It's in the pond that you swim in that's got her formula cooking us all, and those that help to serve get cooked over and over. But it's an alchemy that comes to inform and awaken that which is ready for the next level of your coding. And to answer this call during this year, which is the 13th year of the great 13-year cleansing that the Mamos, the Kogi, out of the La Sierra Columbia, opened this part of the prophecy of the eagle condor, and they said we were about to enter 13 years of the great cleanse. If you look back to 2013, you can see how this is unfolded until now we're in that final year where the ending is falling into the beginning. So that it's really not that somebody did it wrong. It's really that we're at the end of a cycle for the Mother Earth, a 26,000-year cycle. She's about to open to the next one. And so we're right here in what India calls the Kali Yuga. And that you are answering a call in this prophetic moment, pause to think about it. Pause to reflect rather than think. Keep your mind still and just deeply listen to what that's been about and is about for you. It's like Nicholas, your backdrop, just you're bringing Star Nation here, and they're very involved in all this. So, you know, there's many layers and levels that, and you're touched by one or all. So I just wanted to add that piece about the alchemy, Marlo, and I'll step back.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Jyoti and Darlene. So my heart is so full and grateful and inspired once again. And I'm going to go through our next part, which is talking about all the program components so that hopefully it will answer some questions that you have, and it might spark some new ones. So let me just go through here, the slide deck, and hopefully everybody can see it. Good. All right. I have to find the arrow. There it is. All right. So again, I am Marlo Narro. I'm the Global University Director for the Center for Sacred Studies. And I was ordained in the ministry program in 2013 with the Water Clan and have been walking with CSS ever since. Been able to be in other programs offered by CSS, assisting, mentoring throughout the years. And I've held this seat of Global University for the past year. And this is a 2-year program, and the offering is 22 modules so you have 22 instructors, modules that happen each month, and each module has an audio and a video component. And in addition to that, every month you will have an elder wisdom offering. So this is a beautiful offering with elders all around the globe that share their stories and their teachings. And this is recorded simultaneously with your instructor teaching. And here is just the flow of year 1 and year 2 teachings. And you can find more information about this on our website, but we cover all these different areas. These are the different modules, everything from following the flow of prayer, which is our first module, going to prophecy. And then year 2 starts with earth-based ways of prayer and flowing all the way through to practical application. So just really a beautiful depth of teachings over the course of the 2 years. And as a reminder, you'll get this recording so you can look a little bit more slowly into these slides if you'd like, but I'm going to kind of go through them. So we have 2 in-person retreats that happen, and the first retreat happens after year 1. Where we all get together, and we've been having calls together all year, and then after the first year we get to sit in circle in person together. And that retreat is a Thursday through a Monday, and it happens somewhere in the western region of the US. So for many years we were in California, and the last several years we've been up in Washington State at Cedar Springs Lodge. And so we will share more with what exact location that'll be as we get a little bit closer. And then after the second year is complete, then you will flow into your second year retreat, which is your ordination retreat. And this is where you will have your ordination ceremony. And that is also like a Thursday through a Monday, although the second year we typically offer a breath work that happens the day before the retreat starts for those who are interested. And so with throughout the whole 2 years, she'll be matched with a mentor, and the mentor is divinely matched with you, with one of our ministers that has gone through the program. And this is someone that you will get to meet with monthly. Usually the calls are typically 45 minutes to an hour via Zoom, where you can connect in, and the mentor will be there to guide, support. You'll be able to process questions and your thoughts about the module. They'll be with you along the way in order to help you track kind of like your requirements and all those things. So that's a really beautiful part of the program. And just like kind of a layout here of the monthly requirements and the commitment is each month you'll have that instructor teaching with a video and audio to listen to. And the video, typically maybe like a 30-minute or so video. The audio is typically a little longer, could be 45 minutes, an hour. And then the elder video, the same. There's a video shorter, and then the audio is typically a little longer. And every month, you'll also have a live instructor call that's 90 minutes, and also a live Darlene dialogue call. So you get to meet with our spiritual director every month for 90 minutes. And typically, these calls are Tuesdays from 5 to 6:30 Pacific time. There is some adjustment given that a lot of our teachers are, doing big service around the globe and they have travel schedules and things like that. So every now and then we will shift those days, but you'll know hopefully farther in advance so you can plan. And all the calls are recorded so that you'll be able to listen to later if you're unable to attend live. And simultaneously, it's really great to be on the calls live if at all possible, just to really connect in with your class. And you'll also meet with your mentor once a month. There's reading material. So each module, there is one required reading, and or an instructor might choose like a podcast or something for you to watch. There's several instructors that have that option, but mostly there is one book to read. And it is a lot of the books are available also audiobook. So if you're more like wanting to listen to your books while you're, doing other things, that's usually an option, but not always. Some are books that are not available via audio, just so you know. And then each instructor recommends a practicum each month. And that might be a practice, it could be a daily practice, it could be a one-time practice to be able to kind of deepen your level of understanding with that particular teaching for that particular month. And then lastly, you also have a reflection paper, and this is just a one-page paper that helps you to integrate and reflect on the teachings of that month, reflecting on your curiosities, things that you got, things that you wonder about. It's not a graded paper. It's not an academic paper. It's really an opportunity for you to integrate the material more for yourself. And some people choose to all do reflection papers, and also you could do different things like art. You could draw, you could paint, you could write a poem, you could sing a song. You could, offer a video that, that where you speak out loud to help integrate the material as well. So there is that. And then this is just our website here, our portal, our student portal. We're just showing you this first one, which is Jyoti Ma is our first instructor following the flow of prayer. And this is what it looks like. So when you go into the student portal, you'll see her picture, her biography. You'll have offers actually a couple other extra special edition things for you to be able to look at, but also her audio, her video. And then underneath you'll see our elder. So Shatui Chadbourne, she is a part of our community and has her own bear ceremony, tribe of the Northern River Bear Ceremony up in Ukiah, California. So she's our first elder, but you can just see the layout of how it looks like when you begin the program, and each one follows this template. And there she is again, Shatui. All right. And then this is just an informational page around the tuition. All of this is on our website. Lila's going to go over this again. We are entering into the kind of the final parts of our our application process. So we have until May 20th. And the tuition is right down there, the amount, and then what it would be like per year. We also have the different payment options that Lyla can talk about, and the $500 deposit that reserves your spot. So just so you know, we definitely have space still available, but we do like to keep our classes more intimate. So it's not like an open-ended kind of registration. So we kind of have a amount that we like to go so that we can really step into an alchemical field together in that intimate way. So the requirements for ordination is that you complete this is to get your certification, of ordination, that you're a minister of a walking prayer. to be fully complete with your financial commitment, to have all course material complete. We also, as part of the program, require 2 breathworks per year. And this is to help somatically integrate the material and is a beautiful process for those of you who have never experienced breathwork. And we provide some options for breathworks, and we also have ministers that are breath workers. And as Jyoti and Darlene were saying, CSS has Maitri breathwork. So there's 2 of those a year, and then each retreat is required. So in order to be complete, you have to actually attend in person the retreats. And just so you know, and because people have asked this, is that the cost of the retreat isn't included in the tuition. So that would be in addition to the tuition. All right. Yay. And this is Lyla's information. She's also going to be sharing here in a couple minutes. So I know that was a lot, but you're going to have this slide deck, and we'll have time at the end or in the next part to answer any questions you may have. So yeah, that's what I got. Lyla, did you want to follow in with the next steps?
Sure. Okay, so I'm going to go over the website with you. Let me just make sure I'm on the right page. I am. Okay, here we go. Okay, so when you enter the Center for Sacred Studies website, we have this row here, and we'll be clicking on, we're already on that page, but we'll be clicking on the ministry training page. So this gives more information. This page here, we're going to go here, but for now, I'm going to just take you down to the bottom. So, and this is the last. It looks like you probably were all here because you signed up for the registration. There's more, there's a video here of Jyoti speaking about the program. And this is where I wanted to take you to. So here we have the areas of study. I won't click on this one because this one here, the downloadable PDF, is more comprehensive. So this is going to go over everything that we spoke about today in the Q&A. It has all of the modules here, and more information on each module. Here we start with the spiritual awakening, the mystical faiths. So if you're interested in really going through the material a little bit more, you can click on this area, you can download it and have that for your records. Also, you click this button here, and this comes to the page where you can learn a little bit about all of us. This is the staff, as well as your instructors. The elders for each module will not be on here, but these are the instructors for each module. So each module will have an instructor, and then each module will have an elder wisdom. They're about the same, maybe about an hour, sometimes 2, and they're usually videos. So I'll just take you through here for a minute to see all of our instructors. And then now I'll take you to the enrollment page. So here is where you can retrieve the application. More information, of course. There's also the auditing option, which is $3,000. There's no discounts on the auditing option. And you will be able to attend the classes and have the books, but there is no mentors and the retreat, so you would just be online. And here you go. There's a PDF if you like, or an application on a Word doc, more information pamphlet, and then you can pay here. So once you pay and complete the application, then you email it to me. Let's see if here we go, at mtp@the centerforsacredstudies.org. And it'll take us maybe less than 10 days, 10 working days to process your application. And then here, I'll stop sharing for a minute. And then once you have been approved, then I will send you an email with the registration packet and the link to pay the $500 to reserve your spot is also in the registration packet, and I can send that to you as well. So that's the complete process. And if you have any questions, you can email me. I'm happy to answer. And that's it. Back to you, Marlo.
All right. Thank you, Lyla. Thank you so much. All right. So we have just a couple other things. We have Darlene's going to share briefly about the mothership offering, and would love to hear a minute or two from Martha, and then step into the last 20 minutes for Q&A so that you guys, if any questions you all may have. So Darlene.
Wow. Well, thank you both. Beautiful. Global University has such a beautiful portal for this mother offering. So mothership is part of what people are really, what we're needing now. One of my elders, Milo Yellowhair, speaks about the anecdote for this time is community and community ceremony. And the Center for Sacred Studies has been offering mothership, which is a membership. And every month there's different offerings. Right now we have offerings with astrology and what's happening in the world by this master divinator and alchemist herself, Sybil Starr, who's been walking in that world for many years and is really bringing in a lot about the cosmos and the different helpers there, as well as we have another offering of a fireside chat, which is a moment of looking at where we are in the world and what we're all holding in the threads and whatever wisdom comes through this doorway. And that's with Jyoti, Ma, I think they're on Wednesdays, and then one week, and I'm the other week, or depending upon who's traveling where, but we get to have some time and together that way. And I know that, and Margine, who is our communications coordinator, as she introduced herself, is the weaver of the magic of all of that. And we have a number of people in our community, other ministers, and that are wishing to offer some more things. And so through the mothership doorway, we also have which you will receive as part of the bigger community that's holding you through this pilgrimage, this alchemical process that you're going to be on for the next 2 years, if this is what your heart's choice is. And then we have another mighty network, CSS Global Village, Global Community, which is a place where it's a social media outlet with like-minded individuals. So as the ministry program, the students of 2027, you would have your own private group in there where we can communicate together, as well as then being listed on things that the community, our global community, are having, along with Mother Earth delegation and what's coming up that way, and the fountain and what's coming up that way. So this would be part of what you receive for these 2 years. Some of you might already be a member, and so we would that would be covered for you for these 2 years. Anything else that I should say about that beautiful offering, Margine?
I think it's good, pretty good.
Oh, good. Thank you, and hope to see you in the fireside chats, even if you choose that this in this moment in time is not the time to be coming into the circle, but come into the circle, the other circle, so that we can be together during this 13th, this year of this great turning of us, remembering that we are in this new dawn together. Okay, Marlo.
Yeah, thank you, Darlene. Wonderful. So let's see, is Martha still here? Martha. Hi,
Yes, I
Martha. Oh,
am.
good. Now I can see your face. Thanks so much for hopping on. I was wondering, we have maybe a minute, 2 minutes, if there's anything you want to share about your experience. You're about to be ordained in a couple weeks. You've gone through this alchemical pilgrimage for the last 2 years, and anything you want to share with these interested beautiful beings in the program.
I think two things. I really felt that piece of being held by everybody. And the other thing is that it really gave me a sense of that's not quite the right wording. Enabled me to really understand that I know my own answers. Even though I didn't think I did. And I just, one of those things my mentor what kept saying, you already know what that is. See, you're already doing that. And it was like maybe 3 months ago that I got to the place where I didn't have to call my mentor and have her tell me that. I was like, oh, I know what that answer is. And I could text my mentor and say, you'll be really proud of me. I figured this one out on my own. So it's that it really gave me that confidence that I know my own answers and what to do with different spiritual situations.
Thank you, Martha. We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Wonderful. Well, here we are. Let's see, does anyone have any questions? We would love to answer the best we can during this time. I know they're out there. Questions.
Nalini.
Hello. Hi. Firstly, I just want to say a huge, huge gratitude to Jyotima. I was really thrilled to realize through a friend that we were actually in sacred ceremony together in Avebury, back with the Wisdom Keepers, Ben Christie, and then you went to Shalehurst for the breath work, my friend's place. So I'm really, in awe of your prayer walk. Thank you. And I'm excited to hear that you might be coming to Stonehenge. I just have a really practical question, like being in England, because I did hear, I just want to really get clear that I will be able to make the live calls. That's really important to me, not to be just doing replays because either they're too early in the morning or so could I ask that? For the live calls. Thank you.
They're at 5 p.m. Pacific time Tuesdays, and then there's like there may be like a few days that they're on Thursday, but not very much. Most of the classes are all Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, and then when the time changes, it just stays
5 p.m.
Tuesday.
So hopefully that's not earlier than 9 a.m. for me. Okay.
It's 2 a.m.-ish.
That's going to be 2 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we do have students that are in other areas of the world that will come on calls at 2 a.m., but not all the time. Like they don't every month do it, but they'll like kind of flow in and out.
You can never do calls in the morning like this one. Just isn't.
For the moment, no, but I think it's pushing a button here. Maybe I like to we open a study, and check in with our other people that are holding teachings, to see if maybe we could have a call for those in Europe.
Yeah.
And a call for those that are where this wouldn't have you up at 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm always surprised on the Fireside Chats because there are some people that consistently come from Prague, and they're up at this a very hard hour. And interesting enough, it's going to be on me for those that are coming into the ministry because I hold the first module. It's about following process. And I'm going to be in Prague, so I'm going to be the one that's going to be talking to you, and it's going to be like 2 a.m. in the morning. So,
Oh God.
so it kind of moves around in order for us to be global, and we have a small staff and we want to bring quality work to you. So those are all of what's in the making and working of this as well. But yeah.
Okay, thank you. So
It's good to see you
yeah.
again. It's good to see you again.
Oh, thank you. I tried to order your book online, but I can't order it from for England.
Uh-huh.
Your lovely book about the angel. It was like on Amazon, it was like 500 euros.
It's so bizarre. I don't understand these things. People say, Jody, I can't afford your book. I said, well, I've got one for $20. I never see a penny from this money that goes, they're calling it a spiritual classic now. So we can get a way to mail it to you for
lovely.
$20.
To England. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jyoti's book, we have it at the store. And so the first 2 books you can order from the store, and then the store will.
You send to England?
Yeah. Okay. And Valerie will send it to you.
Okay.
So for the people that are in Europe, perhaps we can get that rolling sooner than later, those first couple books.
All right, wonderful. Any other questions, Darlene?
I have a question.
Not right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
I think no worries. I think let me go to Esteban. He has his hand up, and then we'll go to you, Ingrid. Okay.
Yes.
And then Deborah has a question.
Okay.
Perhaps you can raise your hands, and then they just show up on the screen in order.
Yes, thank you. I have a couple questions. I've been interested in ordination and looking into different programs and institutions and stuff. And as far as I understand, there's no like governing body on a national level or even internationally, right? So I'd like to know more about like, yeah, if one goes through the ordination process with you, like what kind of like formality is there around it, like outside like the your organization. Um, and another thing is that approximately like how many credit hours like does each like module like represent, like I mean if one goes through the program, like how many hours approximately like one should dedicate to the study.
I can answer that last part. So there's 2 meetings a month-ish. Occasionally there'll be 3, and they're an hour and a half long. So that's 3 hours a month. And then you have your reading, which is gonna vary depending on the book. Like the first 2 books are fairly short. So they, depending on how long it takes you to read. And those are also not available on Audible, but many of them are. So depending on how long it takes you to read, and then there's about, I would say the videos and the modules are maybe an hour to, sometimes there's a little bit more, so probably no more than 3 hours. So that's another 6 hours a month-ish, because the modules follow the 13 moon, doesn't really follow the month. So sometimes the modules will end within the middle of the month. So I would say, maybe give yourself 10 to 15 hours a month. And that includes the reading. And then maybe Darlene can, or Jyoti can answer the other questions.
Well, I'll just respond also that remember it's an alchemical process. So the reading and these elements that you're talking about are the practicality of the container you're in, but they each are an element of the alchemy that will stir you. Yeah, so the hours will give you different ripples that will last longer, if you know what I mean.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not like a university course, you know. It's that just as Jyoti was sharing, it's quite a process that meets you with wherever you are in your life in this moment, right? Whatever is coming up to meet you at that time. The other question is that as a nonprofit religious organization, we are, as reverends, ministers of walking prayer, recognized in the United States as such. You'll have, you know, your certificate and your ordination card that way too. In other countries, it does depend. There's and by the way, in each state, say you want to look at what is required because each state has a different requirement of its ministers. For instance, if you wanted to be a officiant at weddings, you know, California is different than Colorado, for instance, when we go. So you need to follow what those things are and what it looks like to be in good standing. Canada, for instance, has to go through some other type of a doorway to be recognized as an ordained ministers within their governmental system or within their religious system. And in many cases, when, for instance, when I went to the Czech Republic, it was the same thing. And so a minister or pastor from the Czech Republic and I coordinated a prayer together so that it was within their guidelines of what that's required. And I know that it's different at different places. I hope that answers the question.
And I've married bunches of people in a lot of different places, and so different countries. And so I just get those that are getting married to really investigate what they need to do if they want this to be a legal marriage, not just a spiritual one. And then they have different hoops that we have to go through and complete, and then my signature is honored there in Prague, for example, you know. So it's very individualized. That's why we couldn't make anything just one fits all kind of moment. It's as individualized as you are. Yeah. And
Thank you. Yes.
I'm gonna have to flow away because I have another call coming up. But if there's any questions for me before I leave, I don't want to get ahead of you, Michelle. Okay, well, I'm going to meet you in your dreams if you leave the door open, and maybe we'll also get to sit down together and see what the great ones have in store for the story that is weaving us. Have a blessed, blessed day.
Thank you, Jyoti. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Well, before we get to Michelle, let's have Ingrid. I think Ingrid, you had a question.
Did Esteban, did you have all your questions answered?
Yes, I did. I was just like, yeah, wanting to um I appreciate like the answers. They were great. And also I think that I would just like to know specifically what this ordination like would give us access to here in the country. Because I know that there's, or I think I understand that there's, for example, certain institutions or places where to work as a minister, you need to have a master's of divinity, right? Which is kind of like that's like it's a whole different academic title.
As becoming ordained through the Center for Sacred Studies ministry, you are able to offer different ceremonies. You can offer your own circles. You can, as far as the legal offerings, you can Married people, you're recognized that way. You are a spiritual, if this is what you choose to want to go through, you can be you're a spiritual counselor. You are not a therapist. You don't have those kinds of licenses. And yeah, it's a place of being able to walk inside what your offering is. We have many people who are in big organizations, and they bring their ministry there just by being the light that they are in the world. They know how to hold a sacred container around themselves and around a group of people. They know how to keep people safe. There's a code of ethics that we follow in order to keep all parties safe in a way that our spirit can continue to grow. So your offering is as varied again as each and every one of you are, but legally within the United States and by the virtue of whatever is required per the states, you are able to officiate different ceremonies and sign your name on a document that authorizes that, by the divine power vested in me through the state of California and this divine creation, that way. I hope. Ingrid, right?
Yes, Ingrid.
Yes, wait. The question about England, I'm in the same time zone as England is. And we see the problems with visa to travel to the US. It's more difficult to go to by flight. Is there a possibility when things are going wrong, which I felt coming in, to go to Prague to do the practical parts like breath work and that sort of things?
Yes, breath works are happening all the time in Europe now. In the Czech Republic, I think there's some Maitri breath workers that have gone through and been facilitators, and there are facilitators now. I know we've traveled to England, we've had some ceremonies there. So you don't have to come here for those. And with the advent of, COVID, with specific agreements, if you find a breath work that you're not sure about or whatever, you'll let Marlo know, and then we'll take a look and see what that is. But there was a time where everything was online. And took us 9 months to create a Breath of Grace online breath work that we used in Circle one time, because it's like, how do you do that online when it's, thing that you're wanting in the Circle? So yeah, so there's those things. And as far as the traveling, it's obviously been here before. As far as what it is, we don't get ahead of the medicine about what's going to happen, what she's going to throw us. I know that one time the borders were all closed, and then they opened up miraculously so people could come and be ordained and went home, so she's amazing. And it's definitely an in-person thing. So we'll just need to see how that works the closer that we get, whether or not that we can have enough that people that perhaps we can, have a ceremony there. But keep your keep your manifestation towards that it'll be here.
Yes, yeah. But my feelings are different. So about the books, I asked for a book list, but that's difficult because I don't know why. Because I like to have the books. I know in Portugal it takes me, I think, 2 months, if ever it comes. So that's quite a problem. So I bought a Kindle reader. I think that's more easy than I can do Amazon. But is your shop also Kindle proof? Can I order books for Kindle? Because then I have it in a moment. And that's, I think, the easiest way, because post in Portugal, I love them, but
right.
So slow.
Yeah, I think most are available through, you mentioned Amazon, I believe, and then there are some that are lineable and, different ways. So I think that you'll be covered that way. And I know that once, as far as the book list and things, once we open the class,
Oh, done.
then we'll have that for you as soon as possible.
Okay, that's great.
Still-
Yeah, because it takes more time than normal, I think, and then it needs to go to the text office, and I don't know. They do a
Right.
lot of things extra, so don't know. Great. That were my questions, and the time. I'm not happy with 2 a.m., but it is a late one, I think. So then we go for late and sleep later. It's always on Tuesdays, I thought, and the I don't know the English word for it. Rooster, the scheme of the dates.
Yes, mostly they're on Tuesdays. Sometimes they're on a Thursday, and it depends sometimes that there's times that we're traveling so much that sometimes we have to move a date, but we work at giving you as much notice as
Yeah,
possible.
that's not a problem. But then you start with when is the start date? In June, I understood.
Start date is in June, and as Marlo shared, is that we follow the flow of the 13 galactic moons. And so there's, every 28 days in the old calendars before Gregorian calendars. So the first module is, I believe, the 13th moon, because then July 25th is the day out of time, and then the first moon starts. So it starts in the 13th moon, which is that cycle of moving into the completion of things as we begin. So the completion of the old as you step into a new chapter of yourself. So actually, the program, the actual beginning module is June 27th is when it begins. And I know that so thank you, Ingrid, and I know that we're at 11 o'clock already, so thank you for those who can stay on for a little bit more if you can, and flowing. So thank you. Are you complete?
Thank you.
Good? Did we get
Yes,
them?
I'm complete. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wonderful. Michelle.
Do we have a few more minutes, or are we needing to kind of wrap it up?
I think
I can get
go ahead.
answered. Yeah, I think I can get them answered individually.
Go ahead. We can
Yeah.
And for the step to go, thank you.
And the recording will be available.
Oh, okay, great. Awesome. Well, I was just wondering, so on that timeline, the in-person retreats, if a person isn't able to attend personally, is there alternatives for that? Because I may have a conflict in the June. I'm assuming it's the end of the year one already. So just kind of wanted to see how that works if somebody can have an alternative for the in-person retreat. And one of my questions, which I just wanted to confirm, was a global certification. What I heard Darlene and Jyoti kind of saying was, yeah, each state has their own requirements, but it sounds like it's each individual kind of situation, working with what they're looking at, trying to legalize that ceremony or whatnot. I would really like to be able to be mobile and be nomadic with my work. So it sounds like with this certification, we can do that. We just got to look at the situation and where we are to make it legal or whatever. So just confirming that. And then the other one is probably on the website. Was just wondering if we have an option for a payment plan for the tuition.
Yeah. Yes, you do. That one's easy. Yes. And yes, within the United States, the Center for Sacred Studies is recognized as a religious organization. And it's just the states that sometimes say you have to show your card, or you have, whatever it is that you're needing to do just to fulfill what the states need if you were, say, going to have a wedding, for instance, right? And globally, again, it's the same thing. We're as Jyoti mentioned, the same with me, is that, the person or however that works. I'm specifically really talking about weddings. That's about the thing that you would need mostly a clear path in order to be able to sign on on the line that really honors them. So it can be done. We just never know because a lot of those things change often. One time we were there and you could just be the minister, and then the next time we were there, specifically in the Czech Republic, you had to do something different. So, okay. Yeah, good questions. And if you have more, please reach out because that's how that is. So
And the in-person retreat, if
the in-person retreat is we now remember this is 2026 and 2027. The ordination retreat is really a difficult one to make up. You really have to be present in order because it's this beautiful alchemical process. We have had people make up the first year. It's because it's essential in the alchemy of the process that one is in, right? Yeah, so it has been done in the past.
you have the date on that one?
We'll give it to you.
And it's in May, not in June. And it's not the first week of May.
Yeah, it's mid-May.
Yeah, my son's getting married, so it's one of those.
Nice. Oh my God, we'll have to catch up. Wow. All right.
If you have the dates, you can contact me if you have the dates and we can see if it
I think
it
it's
will work out, and we're gonna get the dates really soon for the for the retreats.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's the end of the month for his wedding. So
it's in the middle. It'll be good.
So yeah, with family and all of that, I'm just like, okay, yeah. So that was the biggest thing.
But it sounds like it might work.
Okay. And then I want to hold just a quick little meditation, not a meditation, but a little before we close.
I've just got a really quick question, if that's okay.
Yes.
Talking about ordination, would we as English people be able to get a religious visa through your church? Would that be feasible?
We have had religious visas before, or what we've had to do is write letters, because when we traveled with the 13 grandmothers for years, there were things that we needed to write to their councils about. So you get all the information and then we can write a letter.
And finally, is there an opportunity to meet more in person with the members of the Center of Sacred Studies besides the final retreat? Will there be other opportunities to all connect in person?
Well, that's up to the class. For instance, this one is really strong. This one that's graduating with Martha in it is very strong, and I think they meet every Monday on Zoom together. That's not in person, but a lot of them meet in person when they go to the same breath work together, or that kind of thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and if you're in England, there's places that, our community is in the Czech Republic, and you could even meet more of our bigger community. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And some are gathering, on their own that way. The two required are after the first year and after the second year. Okay, so gonna burn a little sage here, and let's just take a breath. That's a lot of information, a lot of good questions. Thank you for being here on the call. As we take a deep breath and just close your eyes for a minute and just really, once again, take your breath and allow it to fall into your heart, and breathe into your heart until you just feel a gentle expansion. If you're walking, of course, keep your eyes open. If you're driving, the same. And as we listen to our heartbeat, that central heartbeat, the heartbeat of the world, just want to take a look inside and and allow ourselves to feel with all of this information, what is our heart calling to us? For there are many ways to serve this divine creation at this point in time. And it is your passion and what speaks to you in your heart that will draw you to that right avenue, that right pathway. As you breathe again and you allow all the information that you've received just to sift down into your system, another moment and another expansion, and allow yourself to feel the reciprocity of this pilgrimage, which is about your time, which is about your money, which is about emotional well-being and your physical well-being. It's about your curiosity. It's about your sense of self. That this alchemical process will spark that sense of self so that you can be informed of the next coding of yourself on your path. And so this next week, as you continue to breathe, allow the divine to inform you. Allow the divine, this beautiful mother, to inform you, to see if this is the call, if this 2-year alchemical pilgrimage that you would be on through the Center for Sacred Studies, downloading and holding her sacred formula for us to be our authentic selves, is the pathway for you. As you continue to breathe, know that whatever your choices are in life, we fully support you and who you are. So in the next few days, as you continue to breathe, wherever you are, if you're in nature or sitting at your desk, take a moment and just tune in to that center point in your heart that navigates for you where your next steps are going to be. And I give great thanks for your steps. I give great thanks for your hearts. And I give great thanks for you being on this call with us today. Breathing again, stepping into this present moment. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here. Reach out to Lyla or Marlo or myself if you have any questions or more information, more what you're needing in order to be able to be fully present in your decision. So we'll see you around. Maybe we'll see you on Fireside Chats. We have a monthly prayer line too, if you want to come and join us there, and the Mother Earth delegation. There's so many places that you can plug in and learn more about us as we get to learn more about you. So thank you for the Center for Sacred Studies team. Thank you for Lyla. Thank you for Margine. Thank you for Marlo. And Marlo, hand it to you.
Well, wonderful. Thank you so much all for coming. It was beautiful 90 minutes, and we're going to be sending you off an email with the recording, and please reach out if you have any questions. May 20th is our last day of registration. Our class starts in June. The 27th is the first module begins, and I think our orientation date is going to be June 10th. So blessings. Have a beautiful rest of the day, and I hope.
Open everybody's mic.
Yeah.
See you. Blessings to you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Love.
Love.